Okay. Welcome to this pause for practice. I am pulling myself out of a very busy day, lots of hustle and bustle. I'm at a beautiful place called High Nature in South Devon, and we are setting up for the season. It's a permaculture site with yurt camping. So we're putting yurts up in very windy and rainy conditions that will be continuous. And I am so grateful. This is why I do this, so that in the hustle bustle of our lives, we can just truly, like, say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, pull myself out, find that sense of center, the resourcing inside of ourselves, bring ourselves back into fuller presence with what we are doing and experiencing in this day, and then re-enter in our flow. Hopefully more plugged in, more refreshed, more present to all that we're experiencing, and more capable of responding with intention and with care rather than kind of habituatingly going through the motions. So take a moment and just feel into the position that you've chosen to be in. I'll be standing. And if you'd like to stand, you can. You can modify any of the movement suggestions, breath suggestions, or visualization suggestions to meet you both in whatever physical posture and condition state that you're in this moment, as well as whatever, other way that you want to adjust things just to meet yourself where you are, beyond the physical state. So once you take a moment and decide how you'll be positioned, just allow yourself to lean sort of back. I like to think of my back body as a part of me that I can sort of lean into to begin to welcome myself into a mode of wider presence, fuller presence, moving away from the kind of moving in, we get in states of urgency and making things happen and getting things done, and we can literally like be getting ahead of ourselves. So just take a moment, and if you're more accessible to this kind of feeling sense inside of yourself with your eyes closed, you can close your eyes or you can keep your eyes open. And as you sort of take this leaning back, sort of bringing yourself into, I feel my whole body just kind of starts to sigh, like a letting down breath when I just sort of take this leaning back motion. And you might take a subtle gesture of just opening your chest from the sternum, widening, and then kind of doing the same thing at the back, sort of widening, kind of like sometimes we work with our feet, opening and spreading them. And if you're standing, you can do that now too, and then replacing them. It's like opening and spreading your sternum, your shoulder blades, and replacing yourself in this posture, in this gesture. And then if you've chosen to keep your eyes open, you can engage a similar gesture here. So instead of going at the world, with your visual sort of focus kind of in a linear way, oftentimes we look, at one thing, then another thing. Kind of let your eyes zoom back, almost like your eyes leaning back as well, and opening up, and allow yourself to sort of see what's on the periphery. Maybe you even take your eyes to the left with your gaze, keeping it open, but taking it gently to the left, and then scanning toward the front, and then gently moving the eyes to the right, keeping the kind of lens. You think about a camera or an optical lens, it has an opening where it allows in more of the space, more of the light zooming out. So keep yourself zoomed out as much as you can, and then maybe come towards the center. And just notice if there's been any noticeable shift. Even though we didn't create a baseline, we will now. since you first arrived, just making these few adjustments, accepting these invitations to position yourself slightly differently, to shift your mode of perception a little bit. And then when you feel ready, and if it's safe to do so, whatever circumstance you're in, if you can just let your eyes gently close. You can imagine that your eyes sort of turn inward, or you attune to what you might relate to as an inner eye, sort of that inner perception, that inner witness, the non-judgmental observer. Different traditions, different practices have different names for this capacity, this inner perceptive capacity. And tuning into that, and just notice what you're noticing in your body in this moment. Maybe starting at the top of your head and just feeling slowly into, as your inner perception sort of scans from your head down through your brow, your ears and your eyes, and working 360 degrees all the way around your body as you go down. So taking in the front, the sides, the back, the inside, the surface, and all the spaces in between. And just gently begin to carry on down through your head and face, your neck, your shoulders, and as you go down, your collarbones and sternum and arms and rib cage, down your elbows and your forearms and your heart center, solar plexus, diaphragm, down into the digestive system and your wrists, your hands, palms and fingers and thumbs, down into your reproductive system, digestive system, pelvic floor, hips, roots of your being, and down into your legs, your gluteus maximus, your quadriceps and hamstrings and knees and calves and shins, ankles and feet. And as you reach the surface of your feet, and if you're seated, you can kind of focus on if your feet are on the ground, or your seat is on a chair, or you're lying, just feeling into that point of contact with earth. And just again, notice what you notice. Notice anything that stood out to you as you scanned down your body from your head to your feet, to your soles of your feet, and the connection you have with earth. And notice any shifts you might experience in how you would describe the state of your body, the state of your energetic body or feeling body. And just take a moment and just create a little more space for anything that's coming into your awareness that you noticed in this. It could be something that's in your physical body, a sensation. It could be sort of an energetic state, could be an emotional state. And just bring a quality of care, of holding, not holding tight, but just presencing with alongside that sensation and just give it a little more space. Not necessarily trying to change it and yet allowing it to change if it changes as you bring your awareness to it. And then take a moment, and if it's a feeling or an energetic quality that you're with, give it a focal point in your body. Maybe it has a natural focal point. Maybe it's your kind of moving through your whole system. Maybe it feels centered somewhere in your body. And then just take a few more breaths and let the breath become a little deeper and a little fuller and let it resonate from that focal point. So the inhale is it's kind of letting that sensation breathe with your breath, giving it space to breathe. And as you inhale, you breathe into it, giving it space to kind of unfurl, unwind, open up. And as you exhale, you let go, just giving it space to diminish, to dissipate. Even if it's something that feels very positive that you noticed, maybe it's something that feels more challenging, maybe it's something that feels quite neutral. Full spectrum of sensation, feeling, experience, noticing is welcome. But regardless of the sort of quality or nature, as you would describe it, of this sensation or feeling, just let it breathe. And then with the next few breaths, let a little movement come that gives some natural expression to this sensation, opening up, unfurling, having its opportunity for expression on your breath, through your breath, and through your movement. And let the inhale lead the movement, and let the exhale kind of, it's like exchange of leadership. Maybe the inhale does something with that quality, or that quality expresses in a movement in a certain way as it rides the inhale, and then maybe it expresses in a different way as it rides the exhale. And you can bring a little sigh or vocalization if that comes naturally to the exhale, accentuating it a little. If this sensation or feeling that you're just allowing to move, to express, to expand, to release, to shift in any way, had a sound, what sound would it be? And you can just let that sound out if that feels like an invitation that this sensation wants to take up. And take two more breaths in this way, and just really let those breaths be as full and free. Maybe one more, just bonus. And just invite any part of your body that wants to kind of get in on this last stretchy opening, if that's what you've been doing or whatever you've been doing. And just then on the exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly. In fact, let's take 2 breaths to just bring it down to that relative point of stillness. So you can keep a little movement going if you want, keep a little vocalization going, but it's almost like you're just slowly turning down the volume. You can take an extra, however many breaths you want, just slowly turning down the dial on that movement, that big breath, and coming back to relative point of stillness. And then just noticing what you notice as you let your body come back to a place of just resting. And again, notice where, like, I find myself, I'm leaning forward again, kind of anticipating. So I'm just going to subtly just lean into my back body, come back full circle. You might tuck your chin towards your chest a little bit, elongate the back of your neck, whether you're seated, lying, or standing. Letting your body just breathe itself naturally, letting your body breathe yourself naturally. And just notice any shifts, any changes in your state of being in this moment. And then take the next inhale and let your arms just gently rise. Whenever your inhale comes, let your arms rise up and around your body, over your head, coming together in Anjali Mudra. Coming down to your forehead, to your third eye center. May this practice support us to be more open, more expansive in our perceptions as we move forward into the rest of our days or nights, both on what's around us and what's within us. And take a deep inhale. And gently let your thumbs glide over your nose and let your hands pause gently at your lips, at your throat center. May this practice support us to bring more open and spaciousness to our communication, to both the way we listen and to our inner dialogue and our spoken word. Come from this place of spaciousness and openness and awareness of what's happening within us and around us. Take a deep inhale and gently let your thumbs trace your throat, down your collarbones and sternum, and just coming to rest. And you can press your thumbs right in the center of your chest. And just tune in until you can feel the beating of your own heart. May this practice support us to be more open and spacious to what is moving in our hearts, and to bring care to our courageous and loving and beautiful hearts, and to the hearts of those who we are living among, all beings in the heart of Mother Earth herself. And when you feel complete, you can just keep that leaning back posture and kind of look down in your eyes and imagine that you're opening, or you will open your, not imagine, but prepare to open your eyes with that open, spacious gaze. And starting just with a little sliver as you open the eyelids and just notice what you notice. And then gently, gently opening your eyes and bringing your eyes up and just taking in the space that you're in. You might again just gently take your eyes scanning to the left or the right and see what's at the periphery. And just see how much of that you can hold even as you move the eyes back towards the center and then over to the left or right, whichever is the opposite of way you started. And then gently bring them back to the center. I thank you so much for joining me here, and I look forward to practicing again soon. Would love to hear from you. So reach out in any way you'd like and share your thoughts, your opinions through EcoNet, through YouTube, through Connect at Evolving Mindfully or Evolving Mindfully Instagram. Big love and blessings.